Hello, my name is Rachel Oremland. I'm an actress and a singer and a dancer, and I'm here with Chat with Dan podcast.
Welcome back, everyone, to another incredible episode of Chat with Dan here. Joining me today, what can I say? I'm already having the best Wednesday by far and plus, there's so much talent in this room because I have with me on the show the incredible, the amazing, the badass, the superstar, the legendary, the one and only, the incredible, even Rachel. Rachel, how are you today?
I'm very good. Thank you so much for having me.
There you go. What better way to have an incredible, super badass day than to be chatting with someone as badass as you? You know what I mean? Now, if you are new to the channel, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe, follow. It helps a lot, but also in the description below, you're gonna find all of Rachel's social media. Let's follow her. Let's find out why she's super badass. And without further more, let's jump in. So, I want to start this whole conversation by throwing out the very first question, which is, what first pulled you acting, singing, the whole thing? Was it a performance, a film, a song, something that triggered this whole thing for you to be like, you know what, this is what I start now?
Yeah, so I started in musical theater, and I came from a very musical family. So my dad was always like playing the piano and playing the guitar and singing with us as kids. So that kind of got my interest peaked in musical theater. And I was like a dancer starting when I was very young, like two. So I was dancing for a long time, and then I finally did a musical at summer camp. I think we did obviously like an illegal version of Wicked because this must have been like right when Wicked came out. But we did Wicked, and I remember just being like, oh, oh my God, this is amazing. And I mean, I literally was like ensemble, I believe, but I just like realized how much I loved musical theater, and I just caught the bug so hugely. And yeah, that's kind of how it all started.
There you go. And as soon as you decided, so this is where my path begins now. What were some of the first challenges that you encountered as you were building up?
Yeah, I mean, I started getting into, like community theater and doing like school theater. I think I always wanted more for myself even from a very young age. So I guess kind of getting myself into the professional world, I was like, how do I do this right now? Like I remember being like 14 or 15 and being like, okay, how do I get an agent? How do I get a manager? So I think getting started in it and like trying to get started young was kind of the first like, "Oh, yeah, this is hard." But, I mean, I was just doing it so much for fun. Of course, we had the auditions, and there was always, like, stress when it came to auditioning for a new show, but I, like, loved it so much.
That's incredible. And time passed, right? You started to build your career, perform, things like that. But tell me, what's something about this whole thing that surprised you the most as soon as you were actually deep inside it?
Yeah, I feel like once I started professionally in this career, I think first of all, I was surprised by the non-structure of it all and how it's very much you. It's you making it happen for yourself. And like, of course, you get a team and you end up getting agents and managers and people helping you, but it's so much driven from you. It's like, okay, how do I want my day to look like? Especially in the earlier days of like, what do I do to make this happen for myself? How do I structure my day so that I'm working at this? And it definitely was an adjustment of like, okay, this is the time that I'm doing research. This is the time I'm doing audition, like structuring and kind of figuring out how to logically get to the next step was kind of an adjustment for me.
Mhm. And at this point, what part of this process you enjoy the most right now? Is it the auditions, being on set? Like, what is it?
I think for me it's being on set and actually like getting to do the thing. I do love auditioning. I mean it definitely gets to be a lot and I definitely see myself getting burnt out, but what I love about actually performing is the collaboration. Like, I feel very lonely sometimes when I'm auditioning because, it feels like it's all on me to come up with my ideas, but I love the back and forth interaction of like, "Okay, I'm bringing this to the character, but you have this vision, so how can we both collaborate and, like, make it one thing?" And I feel like one of the reasons I got into this whole thing in the beginning is just how much I love collaborating and, like, being in this community, so it's just like when you're on set, you just really get to be in it.
On the flip side, what finds you, yeah, like what is the most challenging thing you find right now?
Oh man, I think I'm coming to a point in my life where it's not rejection hasn't always been there. Like rejection has always been there, but I think I've just kind of always had the idea that like it didn't matter. And I think I've gone through a couple years of like up and down of okay, this is such a non-linear path. This is a marathon, not a sprint. And even when I think things are starting to go up, it's like, whoop, it can like plateau again and feel like such rejection. So I think dealing with the up and downs is hard and just realizing that, yeah, this is a career of rejection and, like, even venting to my mom about it, she's like, "Yeah, this is, like, what you done." I'm like, "Yeah, I guess I did. I knew it was gonna be like this, but I guess you're kinda blinded by the excitement and, like, the pure passion of it all." But, yeah, it's such a, like it's such an uphill battle, and it's, like, kinda like being on a treadmill and, like or a hamster wheel and just, like, keep running. So it's just, like it's just persistence, so much persistence.
And now that you mentioned rejections, right? How has been your process to deal with them and not let yourself being affected by it? Because it, I mean, even though you get super good at it, it still stings a little bit, right? It still hits you like a little bit when you didn't hear the call back, right? Like total silence. So how has been that process for you?
It's so funny, I think I go in waves of this over the years and, like, especially, like, where I'm at in that month, like, of my career, because it's so up and down. So, I think mainly I try to, like, do the audition, work as hard as I can on it, but then, like, let it go, and I, like, have a practice of throwing away my sides after I'm done, like, they're gone, we're done, and just moving on. That's so much easier said than done, and I think that when I'm really busy and there's a lot of auditions going on and a lot going on just in general, I'm less inclined to perseverate on the results. But when it's something that I like get really close to, or if I'm not getting as many auditions and I'm like, okay, but this is the opportunity, then I find it so much harder. I mean, it's an ongoing process. I journal about it. I just like I tell myself like as long as I did well as I could have in that moment, in that audition or in that callback, like that really is all I can do and just trying to let go as much as possible and get back to my life and like not letting it define me. It's so hard.
And on those silent moments, right? What usually motivates you, or is there like a specific activity, something to kind of keep the creativity going?
Yeah, I think like a big development or for creativity.
Mhm.
Yeah, I mean, I would say I'm always trying to be creative. I'm always trying to just like be in the world. And sometimes I'm trying to write, sometimes I'm trying to sing. I'm a video editor as well, so kind of like filling with all of those things, but on kind of just the life side, I try really hard to like focus on the other things in life that I love. Like I'm really outdoorsy, so if things are not busy on the acting side, it's like, okay, no, I need to live my life in these down moments because this is my life. So I try really hard to just stick with things that make me happy and like live as much as I can.
I mean, that is what it's all about, right? The more you live and the more experiences you have, the better you can be on your craft, right?
Yeah, I think it's so easy to get, and I think for the first like 5 or 6 years of this career, I was so invested in, like obviously, I'm still invested, but my life, like, I put everything on hold for it, which, like, is great, and I think is important too. Although, like, the years would go on, I'd be like, "Oh, yeah, there's another year." So I think I've loosened up, that take a little bit and been like, "I need to figure out how to live my life fully while I'm pursuing this extraordinarily hard path." And it's just made me a happier person, in total. So I think trying to find that balance is, like, very important.
And at this point, what has been the most fun? Yeah, the most fun or the funniest auditions you ever had?
Funniest audition or fun? Most fun?
Let's go for funniest first.
Oh my god, they're all so many of them are so crazy, it's, like, insane. I did one, which I actually booked, which is fun, but it was a commercial and it was for like a Snickers bar. And I had to be like a girl who was also like half seagull, like literally a seagull. So I was like literally cawing and like making bird noises and like perched on a buoy in heels. So that was like so silly and so fun. But I mean, there's so many, like there's a lot of like gender bending in plays and I've like, like Sharpied on some mustaches and like, like really gone full out with it, which is just it's great when you have those because it's like you don't have time to be in your head about it because you just have to like go for it.
And what has been the edition that you had the most fun with?
I mean, there's so many. I obviously still love musical theater. So anytime it's a musical theater audition and I'm taping, it's so fun to just like create the life of the character, like I auditioned for a role in Waitress and I was using props and like really playing it as much as I could, like my vision for the song. I've also had really cool roles that feel really specific and really cool to me. Like I love just playing like grungy, angsty roles because it just feels like a little bit different. And I like love like sinking into that angsty, grungy side. I had a really cool audition for The Pit where like she bites off her tongue and that was, like, really fun to play around with. There are so many fun I mean, if the script is interesting and the role is fun, like, there's so many fun opportunities.
Since question one, I was already like, I know why she's badass. I'm having this vibe. Like, I'm getting it. I'm getting it. Now, switching to our next activity called the craft break. Super simple. Gonna give you a quote, a line, or a description for a film with some options, of course, but you have to guess which one is correct.
Okay,
You ready?
yes.
All right. So, starting with the first one. It's a quote, right? It goes, "Life is like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're gonna get. Your options: Big Fish, Forrest Gump, or The Green Mile."
I do not know this one, but I'm gonna say Big Fish, actually.
You sure?
Yeah.
Should we lock that in?
Yeah.
Well, in that case, let me just tell you that you're wrong. It's Forrest Gump.
As far as I should you know what? You gotta always stick to your guns.
Yep.
A classic lesson to learn.
Yep. Now, our next one is a description from a film. It goes, a farm boy, a princess, a smuggler, a giant, let's say, try to save the galaxy. Your options: Guardians of the Galaxy, Star Wars, or Dune.
I fear I'm gonna be so bad at this game. You're gonna judge me so much. Um, Dune.
Are you sure?
No, but I'm going for it.
Should we lock that in? That's the answer, Dune?
Yeah. Yes.
On that case, let me tell you that you're wrong. It's Star Wars.
I'm like honestly not good at movies sometimes, and it's embarrassing to admit. I'm such a TV person.
Let's go for easy ones.
Yeah, give me some easy ones.
Let's go for easy ones, right? This one is a quote from a
Yeah.
classic, right? The quote
Okay.
goes, "I'm king of the world." Your options: Titanic, Catch Me If You Can, or The Aviator.
Titanic.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Well, in that case, we tell you that. Yes, you're correct. It's Titanic.
Thank God.
There you go.
Okay, I'm not putting myself to shame too much. I mean, I am, but got one.
Now, next one here. And you know what? It's from a TV show. It's a quote.
Okay.
The quote goes, "Winter is coming." Your options:
Okay.
Vikings, Game of Thrones, or The Last Kingdom.
Game of Thrones. Game of Thrones.
Are you sure?
Yes.
100%.
100%.
Yes, it's Game of Thrones.
Okay,
Okay.
we got it.
You got it. Now, a chemistry teacher receives bad news and responds by becoming significantly worse. Your options: Ozark, Better Call Saul, or Breaking Bad.
Breaking Bad.
Are you sure? There you go, because yes, it's Breaking Bad. Now, next one, it's a quote. It goes, "I'm the one who knocks." Your options: Narcos, Breaking Bad, or Ozark.
I feel like it's Ozark.
You tell me. What's the one?
Ozark. Ozark.
Well, on that case, let me tell you that you're wrong. It's Breaking Bad.
Damn it. I was like, he wouldn't do two of Breaking Bad, but alas, here we are.
Now, easy one. Kind of relax a little bit. It goes,
Okay.
a group of co-workers somehow turn a paper company into one of the funniest workplaces in television history. Your options.
The Office.
There you go. Yeah, The Office. Got it. Now, a football coach who knows almost nothing about football changes everyone's life through kindness and optimism. Your options: Friday Night Lights, Ted Lasso, or Welcome to Wrexham.
Football as in like
So,
American football?
I know, as soccer.
Okay, Ted Lasso.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Let me tell you that. Yes, it's Ted Lasso. You got it.
Okay, God.
All right. Now, you know what? Last one. This is the last one. For all the marbles, you either win this or lose this.
Oh God.
You
All
can
right.
redeem yourself and
I
win.
should redeem myself. I've done so poorly. Okay.
So, it's a quote from a TV show. It's just one word.
Okay.
It's belief. Your options: Friday Night Lights, Scrubs, or Ted Lasso.
Friday Night Lights.
Take your time. This is for all the marbles. Are you sure that's the answer?
No. What was the first one?
The first one is Friday Night Lights. Second one is Scrubs. And the third one is Ted Lasso.
Is it Ted Lasso again?
I don't know. You tell me.
Okay, I'm saying Ted Lasso. I'm changing to Ted Lasso.
Are you sure?
Yes.
For all the marbles.
Yes.
Last chance.
Yes.
Yes, Ted Lasso, you're right. There you go. Fantastic. Now, returning back to our general transmission, tell me, how do you personally deal with auditions that don't go anywhere?
I, man. I mean, most of them don't go anywhere. Like, I auditioned so much, and so many of them don't go anywhere. Nothing. I just like have to keep going. I just have to keep moving on. I mean, obviously, there are so many that especially the ones that I want so badly, it's really hard to let go of. I mean, I hope to book the room. And so even if I hear nothing back, like if it's a really great casting director and they call me in again, I'm like, okay, I must have done something right. I almost never ask for feedback because I feel like there's not usually feedback. I kind of just keep moving along, just like on to the next is like the motto of all of us all the time. So, sometimes I grieve. I grieve a little bit for myself, but I try to just like keep on going. And yeah, I think it's important to focus on booking the room and not booking the job.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's the best way also to kind of, yeah, I like it. Now, have you had a moment where you felt things were starting to move forward, even in a small way? And what did that moment mean to you?
Yeah, I mean it's happened a few times where I've felt the momentum creep up and it's like, okay, this is it. It's happening. And it's exciting. It's really fun when you feel like things are going well. I wish it didn't change my entire mood, but it does change my entire mood. That's something I've been trying to get better at, not letting it determine my whole life. Because it's like impossible to live that way. But yeah, I mean, when things are going well and I feel that momentum, it's like it's so exciting and so validating. Cause like, look, sometimes you need that validation. I'm sorry. Sometimes you do, because we're just bopping around hoping for the best. And it's nice to get some validation every once in a while. My whole career has been, up, down, plateau. So one thing I am trying to get better about is, like, celebrating even the little wins because you have to. You honestly have to if you're gonna, like, survive. But, yeah, it's always lovely when things are going well.
Yeah. You know how I find it amazing. Well, I find it interesting, funny, and annoying sometimes, right? That sometimes it can make you feel that you're invincible, right? That you are the best, that nothing can destroy you. And yet again, sometimes it makes you feel like trash.
Yeah. That's what's so and I think that every actor feels like that, every actor who goes onto set is worried, like, that they're not gonna do a good job, even the best, most famous actors. So I guess we can all kind of take solace in the fact that we're not that different, You're always going on set and being like, "Okay, I hope I do, like, the best job that I can," and that's all you can do, so.
Right. And have you ever had imposter syndrome? And if you did, how do you manage to return to be the real you, let's say, and not just being affected by?
I mean, all the time. I think I'm still working on that. I think I'm still working on, like, shedding that layer and letting myself show and knowing that, like, I'm enough as I am. I think that's, like, definitely gotten in my own way, but it's so hard to have I get imposter syndrome every time I book a job, I get imposter syndrome because I'm like, "Oh, they're booking me." Like, am I like, is this, like, a good enough job? Like, why are they choosing me? Like, the imposter syndrome is constant, and it's really hard to not sink into that mindset. I'm still working on that 100%. But just, like, breathing, I guess breathing and, like I think once you're in it, like, once you're on set and you're, like, acting, it's, like, the only time where I'm like, "Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. This is why I love it." It's like you can let go of everything else and just, like, be present and be in that moment, but it's very hard to combat it otherwise.
Yeah. I find it interesting, right? The fact that because you have prepared for this, right? You have taken hours to learn, acting school, characters, perform, like all of that. So I find it interesting that even though that and you have all of that experience, you still have those feelings that you are not ready to it, or that are you should that you don't feel actually sure about this. You know what I mean? Why
Yeah.
when it shouldn't be like that.
I think just 'cause and you have to always remind yourself too, it's like, this art form is so subjective, and, what I like is not what somebody else likes, I've had I think we're all like we're taught that like there's good and bad and like living in this binary. And I think that is really hard to live in. And I think there's so much more nuance. What someone else thinks is great, someone else might not love. And I think that that's why this is art. And if we can like if I can remind myself that there's so much more gray area in this than good actor or bad actor, because being in the good actor category in my head means booking every job, which is just so untrue. And it's like, well, if I'm not booking every job, then I must be a bad actor. So that's where the imposter syndrome comes. So I think like, yeah, the nuance and like living in the in between is so much more important than focusing on good and bad, but it's very hard to do.
Yeah. Now, how has your approach through art in general have changed from where you started back then?
I mean, so much. So much. It's like it's changed so much, but also sometimes I think I need to go back to the mindset of like being an innocent child. Like I've learned and I've trained and I know how to do the work so well. My approach to a character is specific. My approach to the life underneath, the technical aspects are just so different. But I remember when I was younger and just, like, going, and I think there is validity in that, like, first instinct. So, I am trying sometimes I wanna do all the prep work, and I want to know what I'm doing and understand the scene and the character, but then also bring back that little, like, "This is my instinct on how this should be played," because that's, like, the truest form of me and how I wanna play it. So I think combining those, like, kinda like that first instinct and, like, that innocent, like, "Oh, yeah, let me just grab it and, like, read it," and try not to overwork it because that can be a trap too. So but I mean, it's changed so much. It's there's just so much more going on underneath the surface. So yeah, combining those 2 things.
Mm. What do you think the 12-year-old version of yourself would think about you right now?
I think she'd be happy that I am doing it. I think she'd be very I think she'd be if I wasn't doing it, I think she'd be like, "What the heck? Like, what are we even doing here?" I think she'd be very disappointed. I think it's hard 'cause, like, my 12-year-old self wanted the biggest and the best for myself, which I'm still chasing. So, I think there are some things that I've done that the 12-year-old would be like, "Oh my god, I can't believe you did that. That's amazing." And then there are things where it's like, "Okay, but what about that?" So, I think ultimately being in this game and staying, because I think so much of it is just staying in it and not quitting. She'd be happy that I have not quit.
When you had these thoughts of quitting, what pulls you back in?
I know that if I did quit, I would be unhappy. Like, I know that if this wasn't in my life and I wasn't, like, trying for this big thing, I would really not I would miss it. I would miss it so much, and I would, like, always wonder. Like, I just would feel this emptiness and, like, it's a passion, it's a purpose, and I think everybody wants to have a purpose, and it feels great to have one, and, like, I think I would just feel like I didn't have a purpose if I stopped, so but, that little idea of quitting comes around all the time these days. Not all the time, but, like, more than it did when I was younger, I think. Like, as an adult, I'm like, "Oh, yeah, I could just quit," but I'm like, "I'm not gonna quit. I'm already here. I'm not gonna quit." And I love it.
I mean, I think the more you accept those feelings, the better you get to let them go. You know what I mean? To understand that it's just part of it because that's just the way it is. You know, we're humans and we like to complicate things for ourselves sometimes, and we sometimes
Yeah.
might be overthinking stuff when they're super simple. But at the end, I think the more you understand that, the better at it you become to be like, meh, I'll just take a day off and tomorrow I'll be better, and that's it.
It
You know?
literally is, like, calling someone you love, having them give you the pep talk, and then the next day you're like, "Alright, back to it." It really is, like, such a pattern, but it's the way it is.
Yeah. So, amazing. Now, switching to our next activity, speed round questions. Yes, no, or pass. Super simple. Gonna ask you a couple of questions, but you can only answer yes, no, or pass. You ready?
Okay, yeah.
So, have you ever doubted your talent?
Yes.
Have you ever said yes to something you knew it wasn't right?
No.
Have you ever compared your journey to someone else's?
Yes.
Have you ever felt like quitting everything?
Yes.
Do you think success changes people?
Yes.
Have you ever felt misunderstood in your career?
Yes.
Do you believe timing matters more than talent?
Sometimes, yes.
Have you ever taken an opportunity out of fear of losing momentum?
Yeah.
Do you think you're where you're supposed to be right now?
Yes, because it's the only option.
Have you ever surprised yourself with what you're capable of?
Yes.
And bonus one, can you cry on cue?
No.
There you go. All right. Fair enough. Now, returning one more time to our general transmission, tell me, if you could go back and give yourself advice at the very beginning, what would you say?
I'd probably say start as soon as possible. Start right away professionally and just like live your life while you're pursuing this. Like make sure to like have a full life while you're doing this because also life experiences is only going to help you.
And looking ahead, what kind of work opportunities you are most excited to explore in the future?
I mean everything. Like I'm everything. I'm still looking to do more TV. I'm still looking to do more indie film. I haven't been doing a lot of theater in the past few years, and I really want to get back into theater. And I love voiceover, and that's been an up and down thing that I've been part of for a long time, but it's so fun. Oh my gosh, it's so fun. So continuing with that and making my own stuff. I say I'm going to do it every year and I don't. So that's kind of my big thing.
So in other words, everything.
I know, I knew it was going to sound like everything because it is everything.
No, no, but that's amazing because I think the more, the more you get yourself the chance to do more stuff, the better at it you can become. Not only on your craft, but in general, right? What what I love the most about interviewing actors, things like that, is that sometimes you guys will have this idea like, okay, I'm not just an actor. I can also write, I can also direct, I can also produce, create my own stuff, like all of that. And I do think that the more you open yourself to learn more, the more versatile you are depending on where you want to be or where you want to go. You know what I mean? And not let yourself just being stuck in one niche and that's it.
That I mean, and you kinda have to be now. I think that's another thing that I would tell myself is be everything because, you have to kind of, like, widen your net, these days.
Yeah.
Everyone's so good. Everyone's talented, and that's why it's just, like, you just gotta keep going and find your role.
And what do you think is one of the biggest misconceptions that people have about, actors in general?
I think that people don't realize how much labor we're doing. Whether or not it's all paid labor is not the point. But we are doing so much work every day. So I think sometimes like an acting job will pay a lot of money and people will be like, wow, you got paid that much for like an hour of work. And I'm like, yeah, but you don't know how many hours I spend a day doing this and preparing and doing my auditions and like the money like this is an investment and I'm not just like it's not just like, wait for an audition, do the audition, and then I'm done for the it's, like, so much more than that. It's doing research, and, like, every step of this process takes so much work, and I also wish people knew that, like, even something if an actor is saying, "Oh, I did this," no matter how small that sounds to you, it's a big deal. Every little step of this path is a big deal. Getting the audition is a big deal. Getting an agent is a big deal. Getting a callback, huge deal. Booking the job, cherry on top. But, like, everything else is, like, outstanding, and, it's, like, so hard when other people ask, like, "So what have you been doing?" And I'm like, "So much, but it's not gonna sound like a lot to you, but I've been doing so much." I think it's really hard to a really hard thing to understand. It's just we're working so hard all the time and just putting our all into it. So yeah, if you see an actor and you wanna ask them about their life, just respectfully, like, realize that every little step that they're making has been, like, a huge deal. So, applaud.
And don't be a dick.
Don't be a dick. I mean, it's hard. I think people don't know how to, like, ask questions to actors, it's always like, "So, like, have I seen you in anything lately?" And it's like, "Probably not, but, I got this callback, I got this pin, I got this hold," but it's like, that doesn't mean anything to you. So it's hard.
Yeah. But I think that just, you know, I I don't know. I just sometimes think that just the way it is. Like, for example, if you met someone who is a doctor and then you're like, oh, do you know I have this ache on my foot lately? You know what I mean? Like, I
Yeah,
do
it's
think
true.
that is just part of the,
Yeah,
like, I don't know, like how to specifically describe it, but
just part of, like, the human experience and,
yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
how you
yeah,
think
yeah.
you're supposed to, like, act when meeting different people of different professions.
Totally, totally. Because it happens all the time,
Yeah,
when you're in a gathering or party or something, and suddenly you hear that somebody's, I don't know, a dentist, somebody will come up with the most bizarre question, like, "Hey, so I got this problem here on my tooth lately. Do you
yeah,
think," or for actors, in which they will ask you like, "Where have I seen you?" Things like that, in which you're like, I just
yeah,
wondering why we come up with this idea that if we ask this type of questions, sort of we will be. Look, like my question here is: are we really interested to it, or are we just throwing a question in order to be polite, regardless if we're interested or not? You know what I mean?
yeah.
Like, what?
It's
Like,
true,
just
I
what I
do
hear.
think people are trying to make conversation and, like, show interest, but maybe the real interest is not. But it's like just like how to have a conversation.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm still wondering that because in my case, sometimes that happens whenever I say that I have a podcast. The very first question all the time is who's the most famous, and then I'm like, yeah, but it's not like this. It's not like
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
But
yeah.
that was at the beginning. Now, whenever they ask me that, I'm like, well, it depends. If you're into video games, I have this one, or if you're into music, or I will throw them a bunch of options, and they're like, cool.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I think just, like, saying something is a great like, sometimes I feel like, like, people get stuck and it's like, "Ugh, I don't know, I don't really like that question." It's like, "Oh, well, I did this thing, and this thing, and this thing, and this thing," and it's like, they're not gonna be like, "Oh, but that was online, or that was on" it's you're doing stuff. Well, as long as you're doing stuff,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
probably what they wanna hear.
Like probably next time if someone asks you that, you could say like, yeah, I was recently recording
Yeah,
Avengers Secret Wars or something like that, and see the reaction. If they're like, oh, cool, then you're like, okay, I knew it. But if they're
yeah.
like super excited, that you're like, oh, just kidding, or something like
Yeah,
that.
it's true because sometimes I do have stuff to say. Sometimes I'm like, "Oh, I'm in this," and it's usually, like, the same kind of response of like, "Oh, wow," and I'm like, "No, you don't get it, like, this is what you've been asking for, like, I finally have something to say, and you're not that excited," so,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, just weird. Like the other day, I interviewed this famous soccer player, and I was so excited about it. And I went with a family, friends, like all of them, like, hey, you know what? I just interviewed this player. She played in the national team. She did this, 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 and people were just like, cool. And I was like, you don't get it. You don't get it, but
Yeah,
totally fine. Okay, I'm not gonna say
fine,
it.
it's fine, it's fine, everything's fine, you don't
You
get
know.
it, but it's fine.
So yeah, I just find it. Yeah, I don't know. No. So
Yeah, no, it's honestly hard for everybody to understand each other, and I'm sure that doctors and lawyers are having the same conversations of like, I told my friend that I was a lawyer and they asked me like 7 different so we're probably all living similar experiences.
yeah. Now at this point, what does making it mean to you now compared to when you first started?
Oh my God, it's without sounding depressing, I feel like obviously it was like, make it big, like be a movie star, like be on Broadway, which is like all things I still want. But I think I just want to be working more, just want to be consistently working. I would love it to just full time be an actor. Even though I do find that like so hard to just put all your eggs and like hope because you just not no year is like set in stone. You just don't know what's gonna happen. So I do feel like that's hard. But I think just to be consistently working and consistently working on projects that I find really fulfilling and meeting new people and just like getting better.
There you go. I love it.
Yeah, we're just trying to get by. We're just trying to get by.
You know, but yet again, I mean, that sounds super simple, but it's a pain in the
No,
butt
I know. It's
most of
like
the
you're
times.
like not that your dreams not that your dreams like lower, they're still there, but reality sets in and you're like, okay, actually I just want this." And that would be enough. I mean, it's enough. It's all has to be enough because at the end of the day, you might make it or you might not. And what does that even mean? And it just is what it is. So I mean, where I'm at now, I've been on set, I've been in some great projects. I'm happy, I'm doing it. And
Yeah.
I've made it.
I think the best way is just to let yourself go and have fun. Enjoy the
Yeah.
day. You know what I mean? Go one day at a
Yeah.
time, do your best, and then eventually it might take you where you want to be or maybe where you're supposed to be. Who knows? But I think the more open and the more friendly you are to be like, you know what? I'm just gonna have fun, do the best I can in this day, and tomorrow we'll see. I think that
Yeah.
type of
It's
mentality,
hard.
you know?
It's hard not to need it so badly. I think I've been trying to need it less. Wanting it, I've always wanted and I always will want it, but I think needing it can it's like an addiction. It can like just be insane and nothing's ever enough. And that's the thing. On the other hand, like nothing will ever be enough. So I love it for that and I hate it for that. So yeah, I think getting comfortable with that and taking it as it comes and like loosening the grip on it is kind of really like the way to keep moving forward.
And when all of this is said and done, not the work, not the recognition, just you as a person, what do you hope your life actually meant?
I hope I inspired people. I think that I've always wanted people one big reason for doing this is the way I feel watching things is how I want people to feel watching me. Like, I want them to have that same, like, "Oh my god, I'm so deep in this with you." So I really hope that's what I mean, I want to inspire people in that way and, like, and tell stories that I find important and meaningful and unique. Yeah, and just be like a well-rounded human and just live.
Yeah. Let me just tell you that you have already inspired me. So
Oh, stop.
epic, epic. And you know what? My last question, so we can all enjoy and relax after an epic chat. So, what do you think that could be the best title for this episode?
Oh gosh. The ginger who dreams?
That could be a title. Sure. You want that?
No. Oh, I have to really pick.
Yeah, yeah.
I think something about living while you're pursuing or needing it less. Let go. Let go. Letting go.
Yeah, I mean, it's your episode, so
Yeah, letting go. I like that.
just letting go,
Letting it go.
letting it go. All right. Sounds like a franchise. Who knows? You know,
Ah,
at some point, maybe when you're writing your memoirs, that could be the title for it. Be like, I
exactly.
already had a title cooked years ago. I'm gonna use it now. There you
Yeah.
go. All right. And at the end, what can I say? I'm just impressed. I'm in love with what you do and your career and everything. Because I mean, sure, you can create cool stories for us. You can create cool characters. You can make us cry, have a smile, laugh, get angry, like all of that. That's fine. But what I love the most is that you're showing us that dreams can come true. And that type of hope, it's something we desperately need in this crazy messed up world right now. Hope, the fact that, yeah, knowing that eventually things can get better. I do think that with your work and your persistence to it, you're showing us that dreams can come true, but also that things can get better if you actually stay busy with something you're passionate about. So
Yeah, it's maybe the title should be marathon. Like marathon, it's a marathon because I think that is like the most. And also, yeah, like the idea that your yes could be right around like if you're not in the game, then nothing's going to happen. So the only way to like have hope is to like be in it.
totally. I mean, you already have the worst outcome, which is nothing. So why
Yeah,
don't
right. So what's there to lose anyway if
totally,
you're already there.
totally. So epic. So I want to thank you so much for making this happen. I do want to thank also those who stayed the whole episode. Let us know what you think in the comments below. But by this point, come on. Since question one, I was like, I already know why Rachel is super badass. Come on. So let's follow her. Let's share some love. Hashtag Team Rachel. And again, thank you for making this happen. Keep shining out there. Keep rocking. Keep kicking ass. Keep doing what you do. And I'll be seeing you in the next one.
Thank you so much. This was awesome.
Absolutely.